Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 97 of the In From Japan podcast, the podcast where we talk about the latest news on Japan-developed games and other things in relation to them, available on YouTube and in most places podcasts can be found. We are going to skip the housekeeping, as we have done for who knows how long.
Our house is clean.
Normally, our housekeeping would normally be like, oh, check out the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales, but that's our main topic for later, so we'll get to that. Since there's a bit less news since the holiday week, at least in the U.S. But we're going to get right into the Japanese games we've been playing.
But before that, introduce yourself.
Oh, right. As always, I'm your host, Erroll Maas, and with me is my co-host, the phenomenon from Suriname, Jason Carter.
Keeping you on your toes. Hey.
That was a close one. So yeah, I've been playing Pokémon Brilliant Diamond.
Surprise.
And the last thing I did today was catch the Alga.
Oh, wow. You're way ahead of me.
Yeah, I've been speeding through this.
Now, okay, you say speeding through this. Are you like playing all hours of the day, or are you just like mainlining it?
I'm just mostly I'm mainlining it for the most part. I've skipped a handful of training, which hasn't been a detriment at all.
Okay, interesting.
And it's fine. I don't have
no hot takes.
No hot takes. I do wish like how some people have said that the story, like the Lake Legendaries, had a little more involvement in the story directly instead of just kind of being there. And yeah, I wish they had done a little more to enhance it. I mean, I do like the how HMs are an app now.
Yes.
I think that's clever.
We're heading into the digitalization of everything. So,
but
maybe next year's entry will have NFTs in the metaverse.
No. Don't give them ideas. Don't say it. Don't put bad thoughts like that into the world.
Nintendo's too old-fashioned to do that.
They'll do it in 20 years.
20 years.
But no, our buddy, friend of the show, Taco, he was saying how he actually would have preferred if instead of that, it was more like you needed maybe Pokemon, don't bring back HMs, but maybe only certain Pokemon could have those abilities, like outside of battle. So like you still needed a water Pokemon to surf, or you still needed a flying Pokemon to fly, just so there's more variety in teams.
The thing I have issue with regards to that,
I thought it was an interesting take. I wouldn't say I fully agree with it, but
my issue with that is it limits how you can have your Pokemon grow, like over the course of your journey, because that slot is permanently taken by an HM. Of course, you can delete a move or have backup Pokemons of a single sort, but it kind of limits you when you only have 4 attacks or four slots for moves.
No. It wouldn't be. No, they wouldn't be the attacks.
Like ability.
They would be outside of battle, abilities.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Kind of like how Pikachu and Eevee can do it in the Let's Go games, I guess. But more dependent on type.
Yeah, I get it.
Which I thought was just an interesting.
But with the app solution, you wouldn't have to have a specific Pokemon in your party at all times.
Right.
So that kind of does help.
Right. I didn't know about that whole thing at first, so I had a Bidoof and then a Bibarel in my party, and then I realized I don't need this. So straight to the PC, and now I'm using. What am I using instead? It's not a water Pokemon. It's a Mamoswine. Okay. I just got a Mamoswine today.
There you go.
And also a Pokemon I thought I never use, Licky Licky, the evolution of Lickitung. has been quite the bulky powerhouse.
Really?
And I am surprised. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, which starter did you pick?
Chimchar. I always choose fire.
Okay, I chose Turtwig.
That's fine. I like all the starters in 4th gen.
See, the thing I keep forgetting with everything after Ruby and Sapphire is that the evolve forms aren't always the best looking. Like, how do I say this?
What? You don't
like
Torterra?
Torterra. Yeah, it's kind of goofy looking in my opinion.
Torterra, how it looks now? Have you seen its old design?
I think I have. I
think you should be thankful it doesn't still look like that.
No. You can't win them all. I keep forgetting about that, and maybe I should choose with aesthetics in mind next time. But it's fine. It's whatever. Okay, I think you just sent me the. It's fine. It's whatever. It's not the best. It's also not the worst.
I definitely think that old one is worse. I think that old one is way worse.
Nah, it's fine. It's more or less just a concept version of what we have now.
But yeah, I was trying to remember like what my team was in my original Pearl, and I was like, okay, so I had Infernape, and I had Staraptor, and then I like couldn't remember after that. I'm like, I know I had those two, and I was like, maybe I had a Frostlass, which I saw a Snorunt once, and it was a male, so I couldn't. That didn't. And I decided to switch my Staravia for a Murkrow once I found one in the underground, so I have a Honchkrow now.
Oh, that's cool.
But again, I don't have that much to say about like the game itself. I'm enjoying it. It's just like it's basically like playing Diamond and Pearl again, and I'm like, okay, so what was this? Like what was this gym, and what Pokemon did they have, and all, like just trying to remember stuff because I played this game 15 years ago. I don't remember
that is a long time.
But I remember how much I did enjoy it at the time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm trying to remember what else. Oh yeah, so yeah, I got to Dialga, but the thing that annoyed me was you battle Cyrus, the boss of Team Galactic, then you go after that. They're like, you can save, but Professor Rowan and Dawn they block your way. Dawn or Lucas, they block your way, and they're like, yeah, go get the legendary. Meanwhile, like, if you don't have healing items, which I didn't, because I didn't realize I wouldn't be able to go back. Like I was out of healing items by that point because I was kind of struggling against Cyrus. So like my Pokemon are like at half health. Or like most of them are at half health, and I'm like, let me leave.
Can't you use like fly or dig or teleport?
No, they block you.
Really?
Like I didn't try. I think they block you though.
Okay. That's weird.
Luckily I did just enough to get Dialga in the red and catch it.
Okay.
And it didn't take too long. But that was just a really annoying thing I found. And then I also feel like whenever encountering wild Pokemon, whenever you get into a battle, I feel like it's a little slow, at least compared to like Sword and Shield.
I don't know if I agree with that, or at least I haven't had trouble with it.
The initial like loading, like it loads I don't know. Maybe it's not. I feel like there's some part of it takes like a second longer and it throws me off.
I get you.
And then I didn't realize, do you know when it shows your trainer on the screen when you encounter a wild Pokemon?
Yeah.
You know, and it only does that sometimes. It means that the Pokemon you're encountering has like 2 perfect IVs or something.
Oh, I should really pay attention to that then.
I had no idea. I just thought it was like, I thought I was just pressing A and skipping it.
It's like, oh,
you know?
I thought it was like, oh, this is nice. Like some variation. That's cool. But yeah, nice to bring that up.
And then I haven't experienced any of the glitches, but it's very interesting to see how many glitches there are in these games, just like the original.
I've so far only seen a bit of slowdown and some hitches, but nothing.
Oh, not like that. Like the glitches where you can get to the 8th gym. If you hatch an egg in the right place, you can bypass the NPC who blocks the way.
No, never anything of that sort.
And your eighth, and you get your 8th gym badge as your 4th.
Wow, that's.
I don't know how it affects everything else, but
that is some speedrunning magic.
There are also some glitches using surf and such where you can bypass obstacles and go find Shyman and Darkrai, which I think was also possible in the original game.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny. It'll be interesting as long as they don't patch them out, because I don't know. I don't think Pokemon speedruns are all that popular, at least compared to Nuzlocke.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think it would be interesting to see.
Sure, but it would still take some time unless you have a way of breaking the game, as you mentioned.
Right. So you'd probably get Shyman and Darkrai. You'd have several legendaries on your team way earlier than you should. Or that you shouldn't at all. And then
yeah.
And then the at the Elite Four, they don't check. Was it they don't check badges, or they don't? There was something they don't check, so you can bypass it and fight the Elite Four without actually needing to do all the stuff you should do in the game.
Okay, that's
very. It's very interesting.
Weird that's still possible in the remake.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want to be faithful.
Well, yeah,
I don't think that was. I don't know if that one was. I don't know if that was a glitch in the original. And then, the Pokemon Nursery, I forgot was a nursery and not a daycare. So when I came back and my Pokemon weren't leveled up, I was very confused.
Like, I thought you were supposed to do one job.
I knew they wouldn't have an egg. I knew they wouldn't have an egg because I put the free Manaphy and free Jirachi in there. But like, yeah, I was like, wait. They didn't level up. I'm confused. I was like, oh, I guess this is all specifically for breeding.
Wow, that's kind of disappointing then.
And there was some other stuff that I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But again, I've been enjoying this game for the most part.
Yeah.
A lot of times it feels like there are a lot of the same Pokemon in a lot of different places.
Yeah,
and that's kind of annoying.
Run into the issue of me wanting to collect as much as possible, but I just keep running into the same 2 or 3 monsters, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You live here. Give me other options. I don't want to grind forever.
I feel like the rarity stuff is a bit weird. I haven't found a Mime. I wanted a Mime Junior, and I was like, I went to Habitat. I was like, okay, Route 210, and I was there for a while, never found one.
Yeah,
Then I go to the Grand Underground, and there are Mr. Mime everywhere.
Yeah, there's also that newspaper guy who gives you like daily requests.
Right.
And one of his requests was Abra, and I'm like, okay, I know where to get Abra. So I go to the Habitat, walk for like a good 15 minutes, get nothing, or he teleports immediately, and I'm like, okay.
Are you gonna get some quick balls?
Yeah, quick balls or mean look, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time here, so I'm just gonna, not do this.
Do you ever have you ever accidentally caught a Pokemon in the what's it called? The Safari Zone or Great Marsh? Just by pressing A accidentally? Because I've done that.
No, I mean,
I did that in this game with the Golduck.
I mean, how do you accidentally catch one? It's like it's one of the only.
It's because it's when you press A, but you press it to like you mean to go to run. Like press A on run, but then you press A like a little too soon, and it's a ball, and then it just catches it, and you're like, oh dang it.
I mean,
I've done that quite a few times.
Is it that?
I mean, not
that much of an issue?
No, it's not an issue. It's a funny thing that I've noticed I've done for a long time, and I still a quirk that I still can't seem to just be like, okay, settle down.
Yeah.
I got a Carnivine. So I found a Carnivine in the Great Marsh pretty easily, not realizing how rare it was. Mm-hmm. And I luckily I caught it.
Okay.
But like when I went back and I like went around all the different areas, I was like, I haven't seen another Carnivine. Man, it's a good thing I caught that one that I saw.
Yeah, it can be very tricky getting the ones you really want.
Yeah, I feel like Sword and Shield had a similar problem. I don't remember the original Diamond and Pearl having a problem like that, but maybe they did. Because Sword and Shield had that problem where a lot of the Pokemon introduced in the 8th generation had a really high or a really low encounter rate. Like you would not see them for the longest time, and the DLC fixed that for some of them.
Or is it more like the wild area was the designated place where you could get as much as possible instead of like roaming?
It was like, well, because remember, it was like the what is it called? The Stonehenge guy, the Stonehenge Pokemon. What is it called?
Stonehenge Pokemon. You're not giving me a lot of info yet, buddy.
It's called Stone Joiner.
That's a name.
So it was the only way to get it before it was just walking around in the Crown Tundra in like a certain place. It was like you have to go to this area and it has to be this type of weather at this time of day or something. It was something
very tedious.
It was the Route 10 it was like Route 10 and it had to be it had to be snowing and and even after that it was a very low chance. And so they finally fixed that. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel with this game. And then going to the Grand Underground is like, that's fun because there, like, at least there's a little more variety there, depending on where you go.
Yeah. It's kind of, I feel like it's this game's Chalice Dungeons. Like, you kind of run into things you're not really expecting.
Right.
And it's fun in that sense, but it can also be tough because I feel like those creatures are of a higher level on average than your team. At least they were in the beginning. I haven't tried it out. I'm about level 34 at this point with a few of my team Pokemon. So maybe I'll have a better time now. But from what I've heard, it's supposed to keep up with your level. So maybe I'll still have a difficult time getting the things I want out of it.
Yeah, the Lickitung I caught, that's a Licky now. He took a while. But have you had any like, has it been, have any of the gym leaders been a challenge to you? Because I've found myself like some of them have been more of a challenge than I expected. Like, I mean, I lost to Rourke the first time I battled him. But it was just because it was literally just because I needed Monferno to learn his first fighting type attack, or Chimchar to learn his first fighting type attack.
I have my first 4 badges, and so far they've all been a cakewalk. Like, I have had zero trouble getting through the trainers, through the gym leaders so far. It's like very surprising.
Maybe it's just my team balance then.
Maybe I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just really steamrolling. And then I go to the underground and then I'm being steamrolled and I'm like, wait, what is this imbalance?
I was actually having a kind of hard time against, was it Candace?
Which one is that?
The last gym leader, because the ice one. She's the 7th because she had a Medicham, which is not an ice type.
It just has ice.
I was not prepared. It has an ice punch, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I have a dark Pokemon. I have my Honchkrow, and then of course it got punched in the face. I still won, but like I've noticed like some of them I've actually been having a harder time than I expected.
I hear the Elite Four is really where it gets tough.
Yeah, and Cyrus, I know a lot of people are having some trouble with the last battle against Cyrus.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see why now. He's tougher than I expected. But you know, I feel like it's weird. This remake is so weird because I feel like I have more to say about it, but also not,
because it's
because of how it is.
Yeah, it's very much like Pokemon as usual, and there's also so much to say about it, and also not enough because it's Pokemon as usual. But it's a faithful remake, and it changes a few things, but it's not. But obviously, it doesn't enhance things the way previous remakes have. Yeah, it's very much.
It has some
by the numbers, as some have said.
Yeah,
but that's not necessarily bad.
No, I'm glad I'm able to play it again because you know, Diamond Pearl, the 4th gen games are pretty expensive these days.
Yeah,
the original ones. But I would hope that if they ever did a new edition of the Gen 2 games, I would hope it would not be based off of these ones.
I think the reception has been loud and clear. That people we're okay with remakes, but we also want the Pokemon Company to put a little bit more effort into these games. Like, don't just do by the number stuff.
And that's why I think Legends Arceus will be very interesting, because it's going to be differentiating.
I kind of feel bad for Legend Arceus because these remakes have not been stellarly received so far.
Right.
They've been well received, but nothing like earth-shattering. No one claiming it to be like a breath of fresh air or like a great reset or something like that. So I feel like all the eyes and all the pressure is on Legend Arceus to be this massive revolution within the Pokemon games, and it's
I don't think it's going to be a massive revolution, and people who do are fooling themselves. It's going to be a step in an interesting direction. Isn't the right direction? I don't know.
Yeah, Nintendo.
But it'll be interesting.
Nintendo's going to Nintendo, and the Pokemon Company's going to Pokemon Company.
Game Freak's going to Game Freak.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm just happy I'm enjoying it, because I don't feel like... I'm not feeling like, I have to play through this. It's like, I knew I would get through this game quickly, and I knew I'd enjoy my time with it enough. And, like, I'm still, like...
Yeah.
I'll explore the Grand Underground for a while.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Like, I'll find myself exploring, and I'm like, I don't need to do this. Why am I doing this?
It's surprising to me, because with Shield, I felt this sense of burnout. Like, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I just don't really feel like doing it. And in this one, I'm like in this flow state where I'm just putting hours and hours into it. And I intelligently speaking, I know I don't have to do it, but emotionally, I'm like a little kid again, and I'm having the most fun ever. And I'm like, okay, just one more hour, just one more hour.
I do prefer overworld encounters. So I'm glad they kept that for the Grand Underground. But I'm not against random encounters either. Just because the only reason I'm against random encounters in this game is, like we said, a lot of the same Pokemon in way too many areas.
I think the thing with random encounters is you're never sure what you're gonna get. And it can, if it's not balanced correctly, it can feel like a waste of time. And
I don't need a Starly or a Bidoof when I'm whatever level.
Exactly. And having...
Or a Kricketot.
The thing is, Sword and Shield, for whatever they lack, they also brought in a lot of cool, fresh ideas. And it's it's always weird when the Pokemon company takes a step back and does not implement the good stuff, and you're kind of left scratching your head, like, why? Tell us the reasoning behind this, because there has to be some logic.
So there's this Japanese commercial. I don't know if you've seen it, and it's about this girl who can't decide if she wants to get between Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're trying to market them as like these
companion pieces,
different yet similar. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm wondering what that will entail for Arceus.
Okay.
It'll be very, especially like I've noticed. Again, our buddy Taco, he's been looking for any changed lore, any hints. And there was like one thing where they added or replaced a piece of lore, and it was just a thing about Manaphy, and I think it was just referencing the Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea, which is like, oh, that's a cool little nod, but it probably wasn't anything about Legends Arceus.
Do you pay attention to the lore like that?
I mean, I think it's interesting. I don't pay attention that much, but it's interesting to read about.
Yeah, for me, it's always like, oh, that's nice that you put some effort into the storytelling, but ultimately I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Well, because the thing about some of the lore is sometimes it can hint at later stuff, but recently, the last couple of generations, it's like, oh, they talked about this one thing and then they never did anything with it. Like in Generation 6, there was a lot of stuff about, oh yeah, Southern Kalos, it's way different. It's like and then there was no Z version, there was no Southern Kalos.
This is the Florida version of Kalos.
Oh no. And it's like stuff like that. Like they would introduce something lore wise and then just like not talk about it again.
Yeah.
When like previously they'd hint at something and then maybe in the next there'd be like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah, my view on the story is, oh, you're just a kid on an adventure, and that's fine. It's not that deep for me, and I'll just play it for what it is. But I'm happy.
Right. But
people who like lore have enough to.
People are paying more attention to it recently because of stuff like Legends Arceus.
Okay. Yeah. Because on some level, it does kind of fascinate you that there is a world where humans are interacting with animals on such a level, and you're sometimes left wondering, okay, but how does this society really work? Like, how did this come about? And are there like different animals, like normal? Oh,
there's some lore in Diamond and Pearl that says like there was one point where Pokemon and humans were indistinguishable from each other, and I was like, that doesn't make sense.
I mean,
like that you implies so like many weird things.
It could just mean that Pokemon and humans were part of one evolutionary chain, and then at a certain point split off.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, because it doesn't go in depth. It's like, what does that even? What are they trying to imply here?
I mean, if you look at the animals we have, like great apes, and how they are very similar but very different to humans. I mean, I think they just wanted to do a fun riff off of that.
Yeah, Pokemon lore can get weird if you think about it too much.
Yeah, just don't. Just don't.
But yeah, again, I'm liking it. I'm more excited for Arceus than I was for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just a nice little nostalgia trip. Like, oh yeah, that happened, and you know, I'm excited to have my gym battle with the 4th Hokage.
Ha.
That's about it. I don't really remember the Elite Four.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Pal Park is different, given that there's no GBA slot.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of the post game in Diamond and Pearl besides Pal Park, and that was kind of the big thing. And I'm guessing this doesn't have a very meaty post game either.
Did you partake in like the contest?
The what?
The Pokemon contest.
Oh no, I haven't done any of that. No, I haven't. I've never been a contest person.
Okay. You're.
Except for back when it helped Feebas evolve.
Okay. So you're like, oh yeah, my Pokemon's not cute enough. We'll just we'll sit this one out.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't need to do contests. That's not. Not my thing. Not my style. It's cool that they're back, but I don't really care.
Yeah. I mean, variety is fun. You don't want to feel like your only recourse in this world is just violence.
Unfortunately, I also do feel like there's still, even with the Pokemon you can get in the Grand Underground, there's still a bit of a lack of fire types, which the originals had too.
Definitely. I was so surprised because I was like in my third or fourth city and I did not come across any fire types. And I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Or are they avoiding me?
There are a couple wild Ponytas in a couple places.
I got a Ponyta and I got my first shiny Pokemon ever, which is the shiny Ponyta, and I'm super happy about that. And
that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. This has never happened to me.
I think my shiny luck ran out at some point because I was doing so many shiny chains back in X and Y, and I got a handful of them, and I haven't gotten another one since.
Like, there was the shiny chain thing in Sword and Shield, and I just never had enough.
You can use the radar in this one.
You could. Yeah, there's also that, chain. But there was also the things you have to do in Sword and Shield, and I was very much not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Like right. I'm wasting time here. It's time. It's time to move on. Yeah.
I think the fishing chain was like the best thing. Yeah, it was more limiting because, it would be limited to water Pokemon, but it was definitely one of the easiest ways, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably talk more about it next week when I'm finished, and I don't know, Jason, you're not that far from finishing. By next week, you could be finished. Who knows?
Probably. Yeah, I'm on the 4th gym badge, and I think I might be done by weekend, but this game can also be deceiving because it takes a lot longer to progress from city to city to town than I expected. Like, I thought this was going to be like,
oh yeah, go. Yeah, because they'll be like, oh, go do this thing before you go to this city.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there are so many like mini quests before you can go on with the main story. And it's not bad per se. It just really takes you aback at certain points because you have this mental image of progressing through the game because it's just going from one city to the next, gym to gym.
Right.
And getting the badges, and then
I was like, "Hey, wait, no, go here first."
Yeah, it's very much like that. And what I also find surprising is that it's not very handholdy. It'll say, "Oh, you have to do this to progress," and you're just standing there thinking, "Okay."
It'll tell you, but it'll tell you where to go next when you put the menu up. Like it'll be like, "Go here," and I was like, "Okay, that's nice."
Yeah, sure, but it's not telling you exactly what to do. It's just giving you a waypoint, and I'm thinking.
I was. Speaking of hand holding, though, I was an. Oh no, go ahead. You first.
No, I was just gonna say, it tells you where to go, but it doesn't tell you what to do, and you're just standing there thinking, Am I not smart enough to figure out what's happening? This is a game for 5-year-olds. What is wrong with me? So that's fun trying to figure it out. It's probably just remnants of older game design where they just give you a task and they expect you to be intelligent enough to figure it out on your own, which has been refreshing. So you're playing Brilliant Diamond and I'm playing Shining Pearl. Yes. I chose Shining Pearl not because I like the Pokemon on the cover, but because
Palkia.
Yeah, I don't like Palkia all that much. I think Dialga is much.
See, I feel like everybody says that, but I chose Pearl originally because I liked Palkia's design better than Dialga.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm very much kind of choosing not to be like that. ever since Shield, because you bought Sword, and I was like thinking to myself, oh, if we ever trade or want to battle, it'd be fun if I had the opposite version. So that's why I also chose Shining Pearl, because of Ultimate.
And you can give me a Mischievous.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I like Miss Magius. I had Miss Magius on my original team.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I could do that. But yeah, I figured it ultimately doesn't really matter to me. And the version exclusives don't really matter to me. Because...
Especially if you look into the files and flip a switch, apparently.
Yeah, and also at the end of this, after I have all my 8 badges and Elite 4 done, I'm probably not going to look back on this game. Not to say that it's bad per se, but it's just what it is and how.
Once you're done, you're done. Like I'm gonna go do a little bit of the Pal Park and go get Heatran and Giratina and maybe see if those Darkrai and Shaymin glitches still work. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not gonna be doing any like shiny hunting or anything like that.
Yeah, so I'll probably just get Pokemon Home, migrate them to that, and then migrate them to Sword and Shield. Because I still have the 2 DLC for Pokemon Shield to do.
Is Ponyta in Sword and Shield?
Who?
Ponyta.
Yeah, but it's the fairy type version of Ponyta.
No, can you not put the Cantonian one in?
Probably, but I haven't tried it yet.
All right, well, we're gonna have to check.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm having a lot of fun. I've never played Diamond and Pearl before, because this was after the Great Pokemon Purge in my life. So I kind of left it by the wayside. I didn't have a DS or a 3DS, so I didn't play a mainline game until I want to say Black and White or X and Y.
And then like I'm thinking if I transfer my Pokemon to Home or to Sword or whatever, I'm thinking of maybe restarting the game at some point because I'm gonna keep this game and I might do a Nuzlocke or I've seen people do all these different types of things, Nuzlocks, monotype challenges. There was one person who was like, "Oh, I'm making it harder for myself by, what was it? I can only have as many Pokemon as the current gym leader I'm facing." And there was, there were a few other things.
It's surprising how there are no extra save slots. Still, I just can't wrap my head around how that's still a thing.
I don't remember if Sword had it, but I was surprised that and maybe it's been a while since then, but I was surprised that there was no thing that popped up that said like new game, that said your save file, then had the new game and then had mystery gift.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because as a remake, it just feels weird to me when it doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Also, the autosave is annoying. I haven't. It doesn't mess me up or anything.
Is it? Like I haven't had.
It depending on what you're doing. Depending on what you're doing, it can be.
Like
it can mess up your shiny hunting.
Oh, like that. Because I don't really try to do that. I'm just living my best life, just vibing, as they say. And it sometimes surprises me when I see that prompt coming up in the corner of my screen, and I'm thinking, oh, that's nice. I don't have to think too much about saving because I can also just let my Switch sleep, and I don't have to turn it off all the way. It's nice.
Also, I don't remember the soundtrack being so jazzy and relaxing for Diamond and Pearl.
It is legitimately good. I was so surprised by it's that town where you get the jars of honey. What's it called again?
Eterna or Eternia or something?
It has a
no. Eterna's a gym leader. Eterna City.
It has a flowery name. Let me look.
Floroma Town.
Yes, Floroma Town.
That's where Shaymin is.
Let me see. It's Floroma. Yeah, Floroma Town. It has pretty visuals when you're walking in that flower field, and then the music hits, and thinking to myself, wow, this is really pretty and really striking.
It's really weird. The visuals are so on and off because there's this one scene you get to later at the lake where you're talking to your rival, well, Barry. I didn't change his name to anything because I couldn't think of anything. And it goes to like a close up of the lake, and the lake looks really good. Like the water looks really nice, but then it goes out of it, and then it just goes back to that static like blue that you expect. And I'm like, wait, what was that? Why did they have a second of that? That was weird.
Like it's very interesting. From all you've seen online, all the reviews, all the fan reception, you'd think, oh, this is a by the numbers, not that great remake, and then you see these little visual flourishes and stellar music, and you're thinking, maybe we're all wrong about this. Maybe there was some genuine effort put into this.
It's like trying to be a faithful remake and like doesn't really do new stuff, has some quality of life changes, but then has these moments where it's like, wait, why didn't you lean into that more?
I think
like it's such interesting, confusing choices
between Sword and Shield and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl's release. They didn't have that much time to get development done. They were on a tight timetable, and they're probably already working on the next remake, or maybe
Gen 9.
Yeah, or maybe adding resources to Legend Arceus or whatever comes as the mainline game after that. So they were probably on a pretty tight timetable, and maybe that's also why they didn't retrofit was it Platinum? Diamond Pearl Platinum?
Yeah, Platinum.
It's probably why they didn't retrofit Platinum into Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because that would take much more like redesigning of systems into two separate systems, or two separate but similar systems. It's interesting, and I wish we got a behind the scenes look or a book on the development of these games. Like just let us in, and
we're just getting info about the development of a lot of the original games.
Yeah, so maybe in the next 20 years we'll get an answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing, and I think
when they remake Sword and Shield.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't want to think about how old we'll be. So yeah, I've been playing that. I've also put in a little time into Tales of Luminaria. I think I'll let that on the back burner for now, because Sword and Shield, not Sword and Shield, Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond were the hot stuff, and I also made the mistake of getting Game Pass, because now I'm thinking, yeah.
There's no Pokemon on that.
No, but there's Yakuza Like a Dragon, Scarlet Nexus, and other stuff.
Yes, they have. Oh, what was it called? What was the Pokemon parody in Yakuza Like a Dragon?
I wouldn't know.
Shojimon or something? It was something funny.
Probably that, but yeah, I also made the mistake of installing Forza Horizon 5, so yeah, that's all my extra time divested into something else. So yeah, that's what I've been playing this week.
It was called Sujimon. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, moving on to the In From Japan J-List, recent video game related entertainment news. We only have one thing. Kojima Productions launches new film, TV, and music division, led by former Sony Interactive Entertainment Chief Legal Officer. This is by Saruman for Gamatsu. Kojima Productions has announced the launch of a new business division in Los Angeles, California, which will explore opportunities in entertainment beyond video games, including film, television, and music. The new division is led by Riley Russell, who joins the company after nearly 28 years at Sony Interactive Entertainment in various roles, including Chief Legal Officer and Vice President of Business Affairs. The new division will be tasked with working with creative and talented professionals in television, music, and film, as well as the more familiar games industry. Russell told GamesIndustry.biz. The team has, as its charter, the goal of expanding the reach and awareness of the properties now under development at Kojima Productions, and to make them even more a part of our popular culture. Although we are a global organization, the new business development team will be centered in Los Angeles, California. We are truly excited and looking forward to working with the best entertainment talent we can across all of the entertainment industries. Kojima Productions business development manager Yoshiko Fukuda added, "Finding new ways to entertain, engage, and offer value to our fans is essential in a fast-moving, ever-changing storytelling world. Our new division will take the studio into even more areas that present our creative narratives beyond video games and to open up ways for our fans to communicate and immerse themselves into these spaces."
So Kojima has ascended to his final form.
This isn't even his final form.
I mean, he's been talking about making movies forever, so I'm happy he's doing that.
Didn't he? He just had a book come out recently too.
Yeah,
talking about a lot of the stuff a lot of the media that inspired him.
So I'm thinking he'll probably announce like a Netflix anime within a year,
starring Norman Reedus.
Probably.
Directed by Guillermo del Toro.
I don't know about that, but probably involving Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus in some capacity. Death Stranding, the anime.
Next up is recommended content. Content other news from the past week listed out. Links in the description and on the pastebin. We have interview preparing for Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX and its anniversary by Jenni Lada for Siliconera. Interview how the heck did Super Robot Wars 30 come to North America by Lucas White for Prima Games. The Trials and Tribulations of Video Game Localization by Kimberley Wallace for Game Informer. The Pokémon Black and White movies are a pointless exercise in saying nothing by Eric Switzer for The Gamer.
Wow. Harsh words.
He didn't really like those ones. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl players are creating their own hard modes by Ben Sledge over at The Gamer. That was very interesting because it was centered on Seijun Park, the 2014 world champion who was known for using a Pachirisu. It's not really a competitive Pokemon. And he's playing the game with a team of 6 Pachirisu.
That should be illegal in some states, but okay.
Probably a lot harder since you're only electric type.
There is that. But, there's some variety in that Pachirisu can also have fairy type moves. So...
And some normal type.
And some normal types, of course. So maybe that's how he balanced it.
Then we have Why Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Became the Most Anticipated Remakes by Ana Diaz for Polygon. Feature Why Pokemon's Video Game Remakes Have Such an Odd Legacy by Daniel Dockery for Crunchyroll. And then Pokemon That Should Be Able to Change Forms by me for The Gamer. So I said Dialga and Palkia because they didn't get anything for these remakes I guess Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were the only ones where the box legendaries got new forms. But yeah, so Dialga and Palkia, and I pitched that Palkia, if it can warp reality, okay, how would it not get a new form? It can. I was like, maybe, and it's like, well, the Pokemon multiverse has been more present lately.
Well,
So,
as with any god, just because they can doesn't mean they will or should.
No, but I said, I pitched, what if you did it based on, it had different forms because the multiverses are, from the different eras of Pokemon. What if you had a hold item where you could click it and each form was based on those graphics.
So that is interesting.
so let's say you go to like the original games and it has like a classic retro sprite form.
Listen,
and then
you're way too ambitious for the Pokemon Company. They probably
and then just like stuff along those lines. Obviously, it would only have like 2 or 3 forms. You wouldn't do every single different one, but
they'd hear this pitch and start sweating. Like, they'd be so happy that this is an idea that exists, but they'd also be like, oh, now we have to make it.
Also, Dialga does have a primal form, but it's only in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and it's unrelated to... It was introduced years before Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And I'm like, this one, you could just have different eras of time. We don't know if Dialga always looked the way it did. That might just be its present form. What if it had like a beginning of time form and an end of time form?
Now you're getting way too Evangelion with this.
And I think Arceus, being the god of all Pokemon, I thought it should have a form more like its beta design, where it was like much more mysterious. Because as far as we know, the Arceus that we see is just what Pokemon and humans perceive it as. And also, its form change where it just changes colors is kind of lame.
Never.
And then I had a really good thing about the Lake Trio and how, what if they, because they're based on emotion, willpower, and knowledge, what if like the rise of social media and like an overwhelming flow of negative emotion, or people not treating their Pokemon well, or they just got stuck in the distortion world and like absorbed the toxic fumes from there, made them have like negative distorted forms.
Listen.
Anyways, those are just the Diamond and Pearl. There's other ones too, but yeah, it was very interesting to write.
I think you have a bit of Digimon in your Pokemon at this point.
Dude, at a certain point, Pokemon start looking like Digimon anyway, okay?
Okay, never in our 90-plus episode run did I ever anticipate us going into Pokemon theology, but here we are.
Look, this is why the lore, I had to look at the lore and everything, and that's what got me into like, well, yeah, why don't they change forms? Because they could, and the whole thing was the form change ability, instead of being, limited to a game or region, they'd have the ability, like, why don't you just make these legendaries able to change forms and in a more, like, as a more permanent fixture, like Deoxys and Giratina and such.
I leave it up to the space-time legendaries and not so much like the elemental legendaries, because then you have...
No, I didn't put... I just was pitching like, I'm like, oh, this legendary, like Heatran's pretty forgettable, but let's make it look cooler.
Let's make them not forgettable.
I mean, it's very good competitively, apparently.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Appearance-wise, it's not
nothing to write home about.
Great.
Yeah.
And also, I'm like, let's give Manaphy a new form. He's the Prince of the Sea. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Also, explain what the heck Phione is.
See,
anyway,
if you ever apply for a position at the Pokemon Company, just show them this episode. I think that'll seal the deal.
I'll show them that article.
There's also that.
Look, guys, I have some ideas, okay? Yeah, so next up, we're going to move on from all the Pokemon talk to the news rundown.
Yeah.
And we have one piece of bad-ish news this week, so I'll let our bearer of bad news and Shinigami take it away.
Yes, Bankai. First up, we have Square Enix says Neo, The World Ends With You sales, quote-unquote, underperformed. This is by Jenni Lada for Siliconera. The Square Enix second quarter financial year, the 2022/2023 financial results briefing is in, and one game didn't do as well as the company hoped. In 2021, Neo The World Ends With You launched, the sequel to the 2007 Nintendo DS game The World Ends With You. It once again sent people into a Reaper's game for their lives in Japan. However, in the report, Square Enix noted that Neo The World Ends With You sales showed it, quote-unquote, underperformed, even though people who played it enjoyed it. Here's Square Enix's full assessment of Neo The World Ends The World Ends With You sales. They've abbreviated it in the article, so God bless them. This is a quote. This is a breakdown for the digital entertainment segment. The HD game subsegment release Life is Strange: True Colors and Neo: The World Ends With You in the second quarter. We have plans to release Life is Strange: True Colors for Nintendo Switch, as well as Life is Strange Remastered Collection in the near future. We are hoping for both titles to continue to sell well over the long term. While Neo: The World Ends With You was well received by users, it has underperformed our initial expectations. So yeah, it's a bummer because there was some genuine effort put into this. They had the anime leading up to the release of the second game.
Right, and I think that might have actually been part of the problem.
How so?
In a couple of reviews, it seemed like you kind of had to play the first game to play the second one, or at least watch the anime. And I remember Imran Khan saying something about it. I mean, it's an old tweet, so I wouldn't be able to find it. But he was saying something along the lines of like, yeah, if you don't play the first one, like it has a lot more to do with the first one than people thought. And I'm like, well, they also made the anime for that reason, though. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to have to watch a whole anime just to play a game. I'm like, that's a good point.
It's tricky because on one hand, you want to do good onboarding and have players who never played the first game or watched the anime to transition well into the second game. And one of the criticisms I've heard is that the game starts with the new cast, but over the course of the game devolves into kind of it's a retread of part 1 with the characters of part 1, and the characters of part 2 have kind of a backseat to the whole proceeding. And yeah, that is a genuine bummer. On the other hand, I think Square Enix loves doing this, where they have like supplemental media as their way of dipping their toes into other segments of entertainment, and then have the video game stand on its own, but kind of also tie into the supplemental material. They've done it before with Final Fantasy 15, where King's Glaive was integral to the plot of the game, which if you didn't watch the movie, you would be lost if you played Final Fantasy 15, which they've since resolved with patches and DLC.
Yeah, I didn't watch the movie, and I didn't feel that lost.
You wouldn't feel lost, but it is integral to the overall plot.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 did not do a good job at explaining what was happening, and yeah, it is a bummer because The World Ends With You, the first one, is a cult classic. It also didn't sell well, but people were dedicated enough and vocal enough to want a sequel that I think Square Enix did it anyway. And now we have history repeating itself, and you have to wonder, is it just that the combination of different battle systems with visuals, with J-pop, with a Reaper game, with you name it, just doesn't work for a mass audience? Is it maybe something they'll migrate to their smartphone division? Which I hope not, because it would be a shame if us console players would get to miss out on this franchise and this gameplay system. But yeah, I have no idea what went wrong. To me, it felt like they were doing all the right things. Having an anime to watch felt like a good way of refreshing what happened in the first game, and then leading into this one. But yeah, I have no idea what they would have done.
A lot of fans seem to be mad that, like, oh, there wasn't enough marketing, and I'm like, I don't know if that would have helped it.
I feel like there was enough marketing. Maybe, maybe in like the E3 showcase, they spent a bit too much time on Western games instead of their bread and butter JRPG games. And all throughout the year, it kind of felt like it was getting a smaller spotlight instead of a big blowout. But
right, but it's still getting a spotlight at least.
They're still getting a spotlight, and it's so weird because everything from the character designs to the art to the music to the gameplay, it just screams this should be a hit, and I for the life of me I do not get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
So before we get into other news, we got a quick breaking news. The Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative box art has been revealed. Mizuki and Aiba return in 2022 along with new characters and some familiar faces. Pre-order in the standard / collector's edition now. I still need to finish the first one.
I still have to start the first one.
I barely started.
Yeah, but our buddy Josh online sold me on it by saying there's a polar bear pointing a gun at you, and I'm like, okay, sold. I'm there. I'm installing it right now.
Funny. All right, so otherwise in other news, Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX World Tournament announced. This is by Saruman for Gamatsu. Koei Tecmo will host a special world tournament for Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX, the company announced. The tournament, Monster Koshien World Battle, marks the first time the Monster Koshien Tournament series is run outside of Japan. The first tournament was held at Tokyo Game Show in 1997 and has become the representative tournament for the franchise. The global event will allow any player that purchases Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX to participate by raising their monsters in-game and uploading their data to a special server to see who are the world's top players. I am planning to hold a world tournament like the ones we have been running in Japan, said executive producer Kazumi Fujita in a press release. We have never run a tournament like this outside of Japan. This is an endeavor to allow everyone around the world to take part and decide who is number one in the world. Since the original release of Monster Farm in Japan and Monster Rancher globally, I have always dreamed of running a worldwide tournament. I am very excited to see this dream become a reality. Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX is due out for Switch and PC via Steam and iOS on December 9th worldwide.
All right.
Child me is
living his best life.
Yes. You know how many, I looked, when I was super into, playing Monster Rancher 2 and 3, and 2 was kind of old by that point, and 3, I think 4 had come out already, but I didn't really pay attention to gaming news back then. I was always looking for Monster Rancher tournaments just to see if they existed, and I never saw them. So now I can finally take part in a Monster Rancher 2 tournament. I don't think I'll be, world champion, but I can participate. That's the news.
All right.
Oh, we didn't put anybody on this one.
Will you take it?
I was gonna have you. Okay. Egglia Rebirth announced for Nintendo Switch. This is by Kazuma Hashimoto for Siliconera. Brownies announced Egglia Legend of the Red Cap will release for Nintendo Switch as Egglia Rebirth. It will release for Nintendo Switch in Japan on December 16, 2021 for 2,200 yen, $19. Additionally, Egglia Rebirth will release for the Nintendo Switch in the Americas, Europe, Korea, and Hong Kong sometime in the future. Brownies revealed this information through its official Twitter account. However, the non-Japanese versions do not have an exact release date as of yet. Egglia Rebirth will feature an entirely new UI along with controller support. Other new additions that will appear in the title include new residents and up to 20 new events. Additionally, the gameplay has been rebalanced for this release. An announcement trailer is immediately available to watch. It showcases several of these new features, specifically the UI and enhanced visuals. Egglia Legend of the Red Cap originally released for Android and iOS devices in 2017. However, the title subsequently went offline roughly a year after its release. That said, an offline version of the game is immediately available to download. A lot of people were like, oh, this looks a lot like Secret of Mana graphically.
And where do you fall on
does.
that?
Well, as long as there aren't any
Well, I think it does. Yeah, I think you're right.
As long as no characters are saying the title and being like, Egwy a wee boat.
No, don't.
We'll
Don't do that. Don't. I already hate it. Stop.
Yeah, the first comment on the Siliconera article is, looks like turn-based Legend of Mana.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I'll take the next one.
I'm interested to try this out. I've never heard of it before. It's a nice little colorful, bright art style.
Yeah, it looks like fun. Next up, we have Pac-Man Museum Plus announced for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. This is by Sal Romano for Gamatsu. Bandai Namco has announced Pac-Man Museum Plus, a collection of 14 Pac-Man games for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam. It will launch in early 2022. You can click on the article to see what's included and give the nice folks of Gamatsu a read. Next up, after that, Bravely Default. Brilliant Lights pre-registration now available in Japan. This is by Sal Romano, once again for Gamatsu. Square Enix has opened pre-registration for Bravely Default Brilliant Lights in Japan for iOS via App Store and Android via Google Play. A release date has yet to be announced. If you click on the article, there will be an overview of the game. And
yeah, I forgot they were even making a Bravely Default mobile game.
I didn't forget. I just, we never got confirmation it was coming to the West.
Probably will.
Probably, but I also imagine it being like a proper RPG for phones. It's also going to be like very a hefty project to localize, and that might not be the easiest. I just want to make a quick mention of the key features. A single-player RPG that anyone can enjoy. No character gachas. Choose your favorite characters and train them to the end. Play as a large number of characters from the Bravely series. And strategic battles that utilize the Brave and Default system. So there's that. It looks nice. It's looking like it's taking cues from Bravely Default 2 with regards to how it looks in game. Instead of the 2D HD style we're more familiar with from Octopath Traveler. So it should be a good time on mobile phones. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Next up, Analog Pockets will begin shipping in 3 weeks. This is by Wesley LeBlanc over at Game Informer. The Game Boy-like device known as the Analog Pocket will finally ship out in 3 weeks. More specifically, the first batch of devices will begin shipping on December 13th, and orders are expected to reach customers sometime between December 14th and December 30th. This news comes after multiple delays for the Pocket, most of which occurred due to ongoing shipping struggles and chip shortages due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. If you pre-ordered the Pocket, you should have received an email already from Analog that states the Pocket will ship in 3 weeks. That email also includes info about delaying your order should you be out of town for the holidays when it's delivered. We understand that some of you will be away during the holiday season and would prefer delivery in the new year. With this in mind, we are offering to hold your package over the holiday period and start shipping on January 3rd. If you cannot accept delivery between December 14th and December 30th, you should request a hold for your order. The final date to change your order is November 28th, and Analog says no changes can be made following that. The email you've received includes more instructions on how to go about those changes if necessary. While waiting for your Pocket to ship, check out the various features it includes and accessories that go with it, like the dock. So that's good.
All right.
Because originally we thought we were going to get it in October, and then it was going to be delayed until sometime next year. And I was like, well, no, it looks like we're getting it at the end of this year.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Listen, the pandemic is still a thing in many places, so supply chains are still affected.
The chip shortage is a huge thing.
Yeah. So, cut people some slack this Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Next on the list, Taito Milestones coming west. This is by Saruman for Gamatsu. In Games will release In? I don't know. In Games will release Taito milestones for Switch in the West, the publisher announced. The collection, due out February 2022 in Japan, is currently announced to include the following titles: Kicks, Alpine Ski, Frontline, Wild Western, Chack and Pop. That one I think I actually have heard of. Elevator Action, I've heard of that too. The Fairyland Story, Halley's Comet, The Ninja Warriors, and the 10th game that's to be announced. Pre-orders will be available in limited and collector's editions at the Strictly Limited Games partner store starting November 25th, followed by pre-orders for the standard physical edition at retailers and the digital edition soon after. The collector's edition will cost $89.99. Oh, this is in euros, I guess, and will be limited to 2,000 copies, while the limited edition will cost $39.99 and limited to 3,000 copies. Yeah, so if you like retro Taito games, like the ones I mentioned, this is for you.
Yeah. Taito is owned by Square Enix, by the way.
I do wish they had a Bubble Bobble collection, though. I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah, I kind of want Sonic Blastman 2 to make a return, but no one cares or remembers.
A lot of people don't like how these collections are all separated, especially when compared to the older Taito Legends collections that were on PS2 that had way more.
Yeah.
But I get why they're separating them.
Yeah, it's, it makes more money that way.
Right. And some have spun off into like fully fledged series. Like I expect a Bubble Bobble collection more than I expect it to be on a Taito collection.
Yeah.
Besides original Bubble Bobble, at least. Like, there are several Bubble Bobble games that have not seen a re-release in a long time.
Okay. Next up, we have Sony filed patent for PS5 faceplates. This is by Kazuma Hashimoto for Siliconera. Sony filed a patent for PS5 faceplates in May 2020 and it's recently been published. However, while the patent has been filed, the company has yet to announce the production of uniquely colored faceplates for the PS5. Other retailers have produced PS5 models with unique detailing, though, like the 24 karat gold PS5 models from Truly Exquisite, with a shout out to OP Attack and IGN. That said, in October 2021, Sony threatened legal action against D-Brand for the production of PS5 faceplates. That was not the first company Sony took legal action against. In November 2020, it also pursued legal action against Trezzen for the production of colored faceplates. So, they probably threatened legal action because the patent was still being handled, and if that were to come under scrutiny in any other way than they'd anticipated, they'd probably lose that patent.
I sure hope they make more of their own.
They probably will, because they come off fairly easy. Even though you'd expect them to be a lot tougher to take off of the console, so you'd be right to assume that.
I know they wouldn't make one, but I would love like a Gravity Rush one, just because we know that series isn't coming back.
Maybe not anytime soon. It cannot.
I don't think it ever is, and I don't think they'd make one of that.
Well,
I'm trying to think of other PlayStation exclusives that I really like. Oh, Horizon. I'm sure they're gonna make a Horizon one.
Probably. I mean, it'd be cool to have one in time of release, or
a Bloodborne one would be cool too.
Yeah, maybe once they announce the much rumored remake or update, but we'll see.
Speaking of much rumored remakes,
the upcoming big PlayStation remake reportedly is Chrono Cross. This is by Tom Ivan for VGC. A remake of Square Enix's classic RPG Chrono Cross is reportedly in development for multiple platforms. Chrono Cross, which was released for the original PlayStation in 1999, was one of the many unannounced titles listed in a NVIDIA database leak in September. A list the company subsequently admitted was real, even if it said the games didn't necessarily exist. The following month, VGC reported on claims that PlayStation was set to announce a remake of a big game, quote unquote, this Christmas, which were made by a musician who said they were involved with the soundtrack. You click on the article for a full breakdown on the story. Yes, please. Chrono Cross has a very unique look and style and gameplay, and the battle system is very, very unique. And I'd love to see it get its due. We've more or less established the canonical place Chrono Trigger has in our hearts, but Chrono Cross just hasn't gotten the spotlight it deserved.
I was under the impression that Chrono Trigger fans don't really care for Chrono Cross, but it seems like there are quite a few people who do enjoy Chrono Cross.
The reason Chrono Cross, well, one of the reasons I think Chrono Cross didn't land as well as it should have is that people were expecting a more straightforward sequel to Chrono Trigger. While Chrono Cross has a very different look, very different gameplay, well, a bit different from what Chrono Trigger was, and besides some references and cameos, it isn't the sequel people thought it would be, and I think that hurt it a little bit. But in its own right, it's a very good game and very fun and very cool. I own it on PSN. I should really get around to playing it one of these days, but I was so impressed when I played it on my relative's PS1 back in the day, and yeah, I'm happy it's making a return. But for now, treat it as a rumor. We'll see it soon enough, because December is right around the corner, and we might see it at the Game Awards, or we might see it later. Who knows? But fingers crossed. Next up, Dragon Ball The Breakers game system trailer PC closed beta test set for December 3rd to 4th. This is by Sal Romano for Gamatsu. Publisher Bandai Namco and developer DIMS have released an 11-minute game system overview trailer for Dragon Ball The Breakers, as well as announced that a PC via Steam closed beta test will run from December 3rd to 4th. Registration for the closed beta test is available at the following links, so click on the article to get to the links. There are also a couple of trailers. The closed beta test session times are also listed, so click on the article to get more information. Will you be participating, or are you just, looking from afar?
No, I'm going to wait. Yeah, I'm looking from afar.
Okay. Fair enough. And
we'll see how it goes. I'll be reading the previews and the beta.
Get ready for a lot of it's Dead by Daylight, but with a Dragon Ball skin.
Dragon Ball by Dead by Dragon Ball?
Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Next up, we have 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim Anniversary Broadcast announced. This is by Kazuma Hashimoto for Siliconera. Atlas Japan announced a 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim second anniversary broadcast set to air on November 28, 2021. It will feature several special guests. The broadcast will begin at 7 p.m. Japan Standard Time, 2 a.m. Pacific Time, 5 a.m. Eastern Time, or 11 a.m. Central Eastern Time, exclusively on YouTube. It will only be available in Japanese. Shout out to Ryu Kutia 2089. Special guests for the 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim second anniversary broadcast include Takayuki Ishii, who provided the voice for Takatoshi Hijiyama, and Eriko Matsui, the voice actress for Miwako Sawatari, and Ami Koshimizu, the voice actress for Yuki Takamiya. The broadcast will feature interviews with the cast along with potential collaborations. Additionally, the broadcast will show off future merchandise. So yeah, that's really cool. I hope we get an announcement for a sequel. I really hope we get a sequel. The first game is very cool. It's very well written, and I like the gameplay hook. It's not how you think it will go in terms of gameplay and story, but the execution is very interesting and cool to see. So I'd recommend it to anyone. It's on sale during this Black Friday sale on PSN, so snag it if you can, if you have the room for it and the budget for it. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, that has been the news.
But speaking of Black Friday sales, that's our main topic. Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. Of course, it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving as we're recording, so not everything's up yet.
Well, most of it is up. Like Nintendo and
most of it is.
Nintendo and Steam announced their sales today, but PlayStation and Xbox and all the other third-party shops on PC have already announced their Black Friday deals already.
Yeah, so like oh, this isn't on the shop, is it? Oh no, that's deals at Amazon. I'm looking at an IGN list, but I'm trying to see if there's like on the store, Best Buy, GameStop, Nintendo Switch. So Xenoblade, the Nintendo one was really interesting because, so I noticed Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Torna Country, both 30% off, but the bundle is not discounted.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think
so. You have to get them separately if you want to, which I might do.
I'd also advise against getting the bundle because all Xenoblade games are very meaty and expansive and.
Well, I planned on getting both.
Yeah, sure, but hear me out. They are very expansive and maybe exhausting because it takes a lot from you to progress through the games, and maybe if the first one doesn't strike your fancy and the second one doesn't strike your fancy, it would kind of be a waste of money if you bought the bundle and just never got around to it.
I liked the first one, so
yeah, so maybe try the second one before you get Torna, because
I heard Torna was better than the second one.
Yes, but
there's a lot of lore stuff in the second one.
People have also claimed, or the reviews also have cemented that as a fact that Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 are great games. They just don't work for me for some reason. I wish they did. They just don't. How about we do this? How about we select like 5 games from each main store as recommendations? Does that work, or do you want to like?
Yeah, that'll work, but they have to be Japanese games. But
sure,
I'm trying to. See the
one I can name off of the top of my head is Jump Force, because it's gonna be delisted soon.
Right,
soon-ish, next year around August, if I'm not mistaken. If you're in for a fun time, just vibing with manga and anime characters, duking it out, it's $10 for the Ultimate Edition on PSN. Yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to. If you're looking for something a bit meatier, there's also on PSN and Steam Guilty Gear.
I can't find
Guilty Gear Strive
sales on like the eShop website.
What are you looking for on the eShop website?
Just sales.
Okay, I have it bookmarked. I'll send it to you. It's nintendo.com/ well, I'll just send the bookmark. It's easier. Do you want me to go ahead while you get that loaded up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going more with Switch stuff.
Okay. Switch stuff. We have first party highlights. We have Ubisoft cyber deals. We should also mention Ubisoft is still, in the midst of workplace shenanigans regarding sexual harassment, racism, and whatnot. So if you do not jive with that, maybe steer clear from Ubisoft games. But also, it's Ubisoft, not a lot of Japanese developed games. There's Capcom cyber deals.
Okay, I can think of 5.
Okay, wait a minute. And there are
I got
Sega
5.
Atlas Cyber Deals.
Right.
And Konami Cyber Deals, which is surprising that Konami has their own banner. But yeah, there you have it. Okay, so you pick 5 and I'll pick 5.
So unfortunately, Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin is not on sale.
I knew you were going to mention that.
Monster Hunter Rise is for $44.99. Bravely Default 2, $41.99. We already said the Xenoblade stuff. Castlevania Advanced Collection for $14.99. Was that 3 or 4?
Yeah, Bravely Default, Monster Hunter, and Castlevania. You're on 3 now.
Okay. Dragon Quest 11 is 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age S Definitive Edition is $34.99, but that's also on Game Pass, and it depends on how you feel about graphics. And I'm gonna cheat with this last one. It's a 2-for-1.
Oh.
The 2 most recent level 5 games to release on Switch are both half price.
Oh.
About Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy Deluxe Edition is $23.99, and Snack World: The Dungeon Crawl Gold is $24.99.
Okay, so we've settled your 5 picks, and now it's my turn to pick 5.
Monster Hunter Stories 2 would have been one of my picks.
Oh, it would have probably been your only pick if you had your way. Okay, do you want us to have like overlapping games, or should we
different?
Okay,
I would prefer different.
Okay, I'll do different. There is Valkyria Chronicles 4. Although I should mention there is one sexual harassment scene which might not jive well with some people, so be aware of that. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. There's also Valkyria Chronicles 1, which is also a bit cheaper at $10. So you might want to get that. Although you don't need to play the first game to be able to follow the story of the fourth game. You'll be fine. So either Valkyria Chronicles 4 or 1. Okay, I'll just take those as two spots on my list. There's that. Let's see, on the Capcom side, you already have Monster Hunter, so I'll pick Okami HD, which is a very fun Zelda-like, I'll say. But maybe get a guide next to you, because some parts can be a bit tricky. Astral Chain. That's a very good one. And I'm gonna do our buddy Cam Hawkins a solid and recommend Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Sharp Encore. It might be a bit on the easy side, so maybe crank the difficulty, but it's fun, it's brightly colored, and it has Persona mixed with Shin Megami Tensei mixed with Fire Emblem to a
idol.
In a delightful dish. So yeah, you might have some fun with that. Okay, so those are my 5 picks.
Okay, I went to the PlayStation Store next.
Okay, you do the PlayStation Store. I'll load it up while you list your 5 games.
So this is going to be in the RPG section.
Oh, of course.
So we have all the Dark Souls games are on sale. Dark Souls Remastered is $20. Dark Souls 2 Scholar First Sin is also $20, and Dark Souls 3 is $30.
Okay, you have 3 games.
And you can also get the deluxe edition. No, that's the whole series.
Wow.
Just the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package for $24.99.
That is a solid pick.
And Neo 2 Remastered Complete Edition for $29.99.
Okay.
I actually don't think I had any other picks now that I think of, yeah, you're right. I didn't have any other.
Okay. Okay, those are all your picks. I'm going to cheat a little.
There's one RPG I left out because I knew you would pick it.
Okay. I think I know which one, but I'll get to that. I'm gonna cheat a little and recommend Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut.
I almost said that, but I haven't played it, so.
It's not Japanese developed. It's developed in the United States of America, but it is a very well-made game, graphically impressive, mechanically impressive, and the Japanese government has hailed it as an ambassador tool and a commercial tool.
Yeah, and according on who you ask, that's not great.
Yeah, sure. That aside, it's I think it's a very fun game, so maybe try that out. My second pick for PlayStation would be Tales of Arise. I think that's the one you mentioned. I would be picking.
Yes.
It's very fun, very colorful. It has a relatively deep story, even though it kind of fumbles in the third act. But your mileage may vary, but you will probably end up liking it. Let's see if I can speed through this list because there are a lot of games on sale.
You only have to pick a few.
I know, but I don't know. I don't have them off the top of my... Okay, Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade. That's 3, so I just need 2 more. And I should avoid anything you mentioned.
If possible.
Are we going to consider Jump Force one of the picks, or is it that just like a general pick for all of us?
I thought Jump Force was one of your picks. I don't know.
Okay.
If Jump Force is one of your picks, if that's easier.
Okay. Jump Force is one of my picks. That's the 4th one.
We're making the rules as we go.
Like politics. And I just need a final one. Something that seals the deal. Man, there's a lot of Western games.
Balan Wonderworld. No. I don't know if that's on sale. I don't actually know.
It is on sale. I know it is on sale.
I was just taking a guess.
Dang it, I just had it in my head and I lost it.
Atelier Ryzen?
No. It was an RPG. Quick, name a few RPGs and I'll probably say yes when you have it.
Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, The World Ends With You, Neo.
No. I have my 5th one. It's okay. This hurts a bit. I'm gonna cheat a little.
The Caligula effect too.
No, dear Lord, that's just gonna bork this recording. Don't you jinx it. Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little because I mentioned Jump Force at the top of this segment. I'm gonna add 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim.
Okay.
And because I feel so strongly about Neo The World Ends With You, I'm gonna add that as my 5th.
That's fine. Is it on sale? It's fine.
And bonus, because we're making these rules as we go, Sakura Wars, which is a fun Muso-like visual novel that has some interesting elements, but if you're looking for a very light, fluffy game, take that. It's okay. So that's our pick for PlayStation, and we should be moving on to Xbox, which will
I'm already here.
Which will probably have about the same choices as.
Well.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Scarlet Nexus.
Okay.
One of my
solid pick.
Scarlet Nexus.
Solid pick.
Code Vein.
Solid pick again.
The Dark Souls aren't one of my pick, but they're on sale here too.
Yes. Don't cheat again.
What was the other one? I had another one. No, not those.
Okay, now I'm curious.
Not Sword Art Online games.
Wow.
Monster Hunter World.
Okay, solid.
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Solid.
Wait, I wonder.
Wait, you had Scarlet Nexus, you had Yakuza Like a Dragon, you had
Code
Code
Vein.
Vein. You're on 3.
No, I'm on 4 because I had the whatever the last thing.
Oh, Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, you're on 4. Right.
And then oh man, it's too bad the Demon Slayer. Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 is on sale for $15.
There you go. And I mean that's a good pick
that-
because it summarizes.
Oh, so it's Soul Calibur 6 is even less. So that's the one I'd pick over
Okay. That's
Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. Soul Calibur 6 is the non-deluxe edition is like $10.
okay.
$9.
Okay.
This one's a little harder to do.
Yeah, because there are honestly good games on this list.
Oh, I meant because like it was harder to go like from genre to genre.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. Especially because they don't always include the backwards compatible games that are on sale.
That is true. Oh, you've kind of made it easier for me because I was gonna mention a game, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, as one of my picks, but it's developed in Spain by Mercury Steam, so that doesn't really count.
Wait, the original Lords of Shadow was developed in Spain?
Yeah, by Mercury Steam, developers of Metroid Dread.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I just bought that game recently.
Oh, you are in for a treat. Okay. Can I cheat by selecting Guardians of the Galaxy?
No.
Okay. That is a hard line, and I respect it. Okay. Oh gosh, I have to pick 5 games that are not on Erroll's list.
The thing is, again, this would be easier if they listed because there are backwards compatible games on sale, but they don't always list those.
No, I know. No. Okay, I think I have. Okay.
Oh, okay. I found how to. That's not a lot, but I found a few you could.
No.
If you go to available on and you go to Xbox 360.
I have one already. That would be Dragon Ball Fighters.
Also on Game Pass.
Also on Game Pass. So you could just cheat and get Game Pass as your Black Friday gift,
right,
or Christmas gift,
right,
and be settled for like. Well, if you have recurring billing on, you get a month extra for free. So 4
I'm gonna
months.
cheat and add one more because I found the Xbox 360 games. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is $5. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is $5, and it goes on sale all the time.
I knew it. Okay. Did I already mention one game?
What?
No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, first up, I have One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. Mm-hmm. Now, don't scoff or look down your nose at a Musou game based off of a anime property.
Oh, no. I played
One Piece
a ton of Pirate Warriors 2.
I played a ton of Pirate Warriors 3, and they are really fun. Just, vibe, play some action-heavy combat, and you'll be fine. And you go through the whole One Piece saga up to Wano, because the Wano arc in the game is video game original. And it might...
Yeah, because they weren't... Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, One Piece had its 1000th anime episode.
Yeah, that's also why I'm choosing it. Okay, so One Piece, Pirate Warriors 4, man, it's tough. Sekiro, that's a good one. That's 2. Okay, I'm scrolling as fast as I can, looking at the list as fast as I can. Do we also want to do Steam?
I have Steam up. We can do it real quick, yeah.
Okay.
But after that, we don't have to go to Epic, and we don't have to go to...
No.
to whatever. Yeah, we don't have to do any of that.
If you find it on Steam, you probably will find it on Epic.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tekken 7. I love Tekken 7. There you go.
Okay.
That's a good one. So I have Tekken 7. I have Dragon Ball Fighters. That's 2. What did I just... what did I just pick? I forgot already. Tekken 7. Yes, Tekken 7. Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm losing my marbles. What did I pick again? I can always pretend I just picked those two and then forget everything else. You chose Like a Dragon, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think Judgment, the original one, is on sale as well. Let me look. It is not on sale. That's surprising. I could have sworn it was on sale. So yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters, Tekken 7. I'm surprised you didn't pick Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist.
I didn't see that.
Okay.
And also, we're on the eve of a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game coming out.
Okay, so you don't want...
Yeah, it's Rush Duel. It's a different format, but still.
Okay. Okay, I'll do this. I'll do Tekken 7, Dragon Ball Fighters, Lost Judgment, because the original Judgment I can't find on this list. I should note Lost Judgment does have some icky things considering...
the subject matter.
Yeah, the subject matter, but it's also because Japan has a very weird take on a lot of things, but that doesn't excuse it. I just want you all to be aware of it. Okay, so I have 3. You already said Code Vein, right?
Yes.
Okay. I can't pick
that. Is also on sale on Steam, just by the way.
Yes. Dadgummit.
Jump Force is only $6 on Steam right now.
Oh, I remember. I have Dragon Ball Fighters. I have Tekken 7. I have Lost Judgment. I just forgot it again. I can't believe it. Sekiro. That was it. Okay. Sekiro, and okay, I'll just throw in a random one so we can just get on with this list.
Right.
The random one would be... Oh, this other professional podcasters make this look so easy.
Yeah.
Okay, the 5th one will be Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, because it has the enhancements and it has Virgil included in the DLC as DLC.
Right.
Okay.
So moving on to Steam, the last one, I got Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Trails of Cold Steel, Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, God Eater 3, and Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition. Okay,
that is a solid list.
There's a lot of Steam ones.
Yeah. Let me look. You already picked...
This should be a lot easier.
Cold Steel. Okay, I'll do Trails in the Sky, Legend of the Heroes. That's...
Captain Tsubasa is also on sale.
That's a 1. Tales of Symphonia, if you want some classic Tales goodness. So that's 2. I'm almost tempted to say Sanran Kagura, but I'll spare you.
I saw that.
I'll do the Ace Attorney Trilogy. That's 3. Persona 4 Golden. That's 4. Okay, I have 4 already. See if I have anything in the RPG section that I missed. Can I have multiples of one series? Is that allowed? Will we allow that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it another Trails game?
No, I was gonna do Tales of Vesperia, but you know what? I'm just gonna do something very different, and I'm gonna say the first Ni no Kuni, because Hayao Miyazaki announced he's returning.
Ni no Kuni remastered.
Yeah, Ni no Kuni remastered. Hayao Miyazaki announced that he's coming out of retirement for one more gig.
This is like the third time this has happened.
I know, and I think
expect
it's great.
this man to be on his deathbed and be like, you know what? I'm gonna come back for one more.
Yeah. If I survive this cold, knock on wood, I'm coming back to do one more thing. Yeah, that, and it's nice to show Level 5 some love.
Yeah, because they are in a weird spot still.
Yeah.
Right now, and it doesn't look like anybody's
doing anything.
Doesn't look like they're about to be bought up, or if anybody's looking to buy them at the moment, or that they're looking to be bought up, even though that could help them. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be a good fit at Nintendo, but then again,
Nintendo doesn't really buy studios.
There's that, and also a lot of their output already overlaps with what Nintendo is doing. So maybe they would be a nice supplement for Sony, who don't really have a younger games market, or Xbox, who is looking for a entryway into the Japanese market. And I think
Xbox would be really interesting, because I don't even know if there has been a level 5 game on Xbox.
Probably not. And, this would be a good way to remedy that. And maybe
there may have been, like, one of the ports of older games might have gotten an Xbox release, but
yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I can't think of anything.
Yeah. But yeah, that has been our list of Black Friday suggestions. You have 5 on every platform from each of us, and some extra where that wasn't needed, but we like you like that. That's our Thanksgiving and Christmas gift to you. So
yeah, there's a lot of great games on sale.
Yeah,
don't spend too much money. Don't eat too much.
Yeah, if you want to save money, just get Game Pass. It's $25 at the moment, and if you have recurring billing on, you get a month for free. So that's 4 months for the price of 3. That's a really good deal. And I feel like you can knock out like an RPG a month, and maybe some extra games after that. So yeah, get on that. Thank you for listening. This has been fun.
Yes.
We'll be here next week.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have a little more to say about Pokemon instead of being confused about what to say, because it's so weird.
It definitely is. But yeah, thank you for...
Also, all I've been playing... Wait, hold on. What's next week? Will it be the 7th yet? No, not quite. So I won't have been playing Endwalker quite yet.
Okay, I'll probably be done with Pokemon by then. And maybe do something else like Shin Megami Tensei 5, or maybe knee deep in Halo prep, but we'll see once we get there.
I'm going I went from one mod game to another mod game, and now I'm going back to that first mod game.
Yeah, as we do. But yeah, thank you for listening. This has been fun. We'll come back next week.
Yeah, like I said, stay safe. Don't spend too much money. Yeah. Don't eat too much.
Yes. Eat enough. Share some food if you can. There are a lot of people down on their luck.
Yes. We are still in a pandemic.
Yeah. So be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually.
Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Get vaccinated if you can, please. Get your flu shot also if you can, because it's supposed to be a really bad flu season this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a global thing or just or what, but
probably both. We'll see.
Yeah. So it might just be good to do it.
Play video games, watch anime, read manga, be kind to one another, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Yep. Matane.